Morning, Steve Freed in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Yesterday we had a pretty sharp decline in soybean prices. Some of that was linked to talk that maybe U.S. crushers had bought some more beans out of Brazil, and they were bringing those beans in before the end of this marketing year. We also look ahead at a favorable U.S. weather outlook, and it caused some selling in the bean market. Overnight, nearby bean prices up about 7 to 8 cents. We continue to see weaker corn and wheat prices. In the beans, the Dalian futures were sharply higher overnight. People are trying to figure out if that's because the Chinese will soon slow some of their auctioning beans out of the reserves, or if that's because hog prices have rallied about 8% since the beginning of the month. But that's offering some support in the nearby market. We still have a lot of bulls and bears on both sides of the July-November bean spread. Last year it rallied because of tight U.S. Supply situation. This year's numbers are even tighter. But when we look at the basis levels domestically, they're not as strong as they were a year ago. So you have quite a debate going on where that spread's going to go eventually. Over the corn and wheat, USDA estimated that 88% of the corn crop is planted. There's about 8 million acres still to be planted in the northern areas. Most people think that most of those acres will eventually get planted. As far as wheat is concerned, the hard winter wheat crop continued to show a decline last week. Soft wheat was up a little bit, but in general, we've got spring wheat planted back to average, and global prices of wheat are still lower than U.S. prices. So that's weighing on the wheat market. Soybean plantings were a little bit ahead of average, and that's probably good for the crop. And when we look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, we look this week for just scattered showers across the Midwest as temperatures warm up closer to normal. Next week, early next week, it looks like much of the northern plains and much of the Midwest is going to get a good drink of water. And behind that, we look at more normal, maybe normal to below temperatures in the first couple weeks of June. So if I'm a corn planter or a bean planter in the United States and I'm growing, this is a pretty good forecast, and that should offer some resistance to prices. So again, nearby beans up because the Chinese futures are up. Corn and wheat continue to leak lower, making new lows, and the U.S. 2-week Midwest weather forecast looks pretty favorable for crops. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trade.
That's his favorite place. She was at the football game last night. 25 UVA.